Hi, adolescents.
So we are talking from our personal experiences. My teenage was a mess.
Gosh. I had anger issues, my goodness. I had wacha nikwambie, alafu kweka grudge. Mamangu akinichapa nampatia silent treatment ingine kali mpaka she'll apologize. Hi guys.
Hi.
This is the Grey Purple.
Welcome to our channel.
So we have a few tips that we'd like to share with you. We're not experts in this, but we feel like this maybe might help.
Yeah, what would have worked for us?
Yeah, what would have worked for us. This is from a personal point of view, and it's not in any way scientific or verified or whatever. So one thing we feel like for teenagers, give them space. Don't be all over their spaces. Learn to give them, let them make their own decisions, let them have their way sometimes. Not eti natakunda club na mwacha aende, but just let them have their space. If they want to be alone and be locked in their rooms, then let them do it. Once they've gone through that stage, they'll come back. Itaisha tu. But being all over, wewe mbona umekaa, you know the way mama kitambo walikuwa. When kukaa tu idle umekaa, huna kazi ya kufanya, like I have to be doing something for me to be seen as constructive.
Unashinda bedroom, uko bedroom
kazi ni kulala tu,
and yet at the time you're just escaping, trying to be by yourself to avoid conflict, because that's what I did. Exactly. I was in my room all the time because I was trying to avoid conflict.
And you know conflict will lead to kuchapwa.
So you try to nachapwa.
Ulichapwa pako how old?
Nilichapwa until I think my last memory nikichapwa labda 10 hapo. Maybe 10.
Lucky people.
After that,
mine was around 12, yeah. So,
and then like what she said, agency, let them make their own decisions. As actually train them to make decisions when they are younger, just as they're growing up. The smaller
actually
decisions,
as young as wakikuwa pre-unit and all
exactly.
that. You go with a child to the shop, let them choose the color they want. If you're buying them something, siwe kusema pana wewe utachukua hii into a red. But they can easily make such decisions.
Let them make those small decisions,
and it won't hurt anyone.
Exactly. Watazoea tu ndio wakifika much later in life, like when they're teenagers, because let's be honest, we don't tell our parents everything.
We don't.
They will not tell you everything. So for that reason, allow them that space to make decisions such that even when they're alone or they're met with situations, you can gauge that there's a way in which they're able to decide for themselves and not just go with the wind.
But do you realize some people suffer from the same all the way to adulthood?
Even as adults.
Even simple decisions, they can't. They have to consult. They have to go through every channel, every other person, and it's actually time wasting. It exposes you. People can easily take advantage of you because of that. So it's important for us to to provide such platforms for our children, our relatives, and any other person that we might be in contact with as a child. Understand that they could be masking emotions.
True.
Hey, masking emotions, I think this one we carry throughout. But with adolescents, it's something else.
Yeah, it's very easy to miss what could be happening in your child's life. I think a survey came out. I'll look it up and then give the correct information. That the average age in which young kids they start having sex these days is 12 years old.
Man, the age of sexual debut has
the age of sexual debut is 12 at this time.
But is it 12? Is it not even younger than that?
Could be. We'll confirm.
No.
And the parents won't know, right? And they won't tell them. So, and a lot of these times when this child, especially, actually for both boys and girls,
for both,
you will find that it is someone either within their home, and it is most likely to be someone who is an adult,
and it is most likely to be abused.
And it will definitely
because
be abused.
There's no consent. Hakuna mvenye a child is able to give consent.
Yes, a child is not. Please, people who are dating people who are younger than 18, what are you thinking? There are many people, the options.
If you're dating a child, shame on you.
Yeah, just leave the children alone. It doesn't matter if this child is coming onto you.
It doesn't matter ako form 4 and will be turning 18 after. That's still a child.
Leave her be. Atapita 18 at some point. Yeah, so as
there's no harm in waiting.
Yeah, as parents, you might not be aware of these things if you're not alert. And also, if you're constantly looking for the things that they're doing that are wrong, you're constantly pinpointing the things that are wrong in their life.
You don't focus on what's important.
You don't focus on things that are important. You will miss a lot of signs, and your child might be going through a lot of things.
Because you don't know.
Many of the cases that I've had with my friends and people that I know, boys especially, is that they initially started having sex in their homes.
Mostly with house girls.
These house girls that you stay with, these house girls that you're asking to discipline your children. And we understand that sometimes
there's working and there's just, you have to balance. That's why we always talk of the work-life balance.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to do the same, they don't have kids. Simple. Don't, because
ni kazi lakini sasa
umejitolea ni hivyo inabidi. Don't be an unavailable parent.
Make parenting a priority. It is difficult, and I know it's hard work and it's time consuming, and you need to look for food and all that. But at the end of the day, this child, you are the primary caregiver. So it's important for you as a parent to be able to spend time with your children and talk with them openly. Remember what I said about being able to tell someone this is wrong, because not just stop.
Always explain
what it is, and also listen to them and their way of thinking, and you'll be surprised that they will probably come up with very wise musings.
Very true. So once you provide that environment, it becomes easier for your child to share and actually even cry if they're going through something that is difficult for them. But if you don't provide such an environment, one to you.
Jifunze patience, because at the end of the day, you're the adult.
Kama mimi najifunza so can you.
You're the adult, you're in total at the end of the day.
True.
And you understand that they're wilding and all that, but try and figure it out.
Outlets to blow off steam. Will you provide your outlet?
I don't know. I don't think.
Who was your shoulder to cry on? And
I didn't have one. And I think that's the reason why I exploded so much. Because again, kama wewe nilikuwa naambiwa kuna kutoka nje and all that. So I would be stuck in my room with my thoughts and my emotions and all that.
You even displaced that anger to your friends.
Yes.
And all that.
And also I would find myself, I really looked forward to school.
Because huko at least utacheza, you have freedom.
Yes. Na ni boarding school. So I was in high school.
Okay.
There was extended periods of time I would be away from home. So because home is where there was most conflict, because hatuelewani nyumbani, I would come and then now just spew a lot of venom. Talking to my friends. Now these friends, what kind of advice are they giving me?
They can't give you any.
They
can't give you advice, but actually they help you. The moment you talk, something is out of you.
You vent.
Yeah. The moment you vent, you're better. You're better than that person who doesn't even have that friend to help them vent. Kila kitu tu iko huku ndani. Siku nyingine utachukua tu petrol uchome nyumba, I swear. It's really bad. So for teenagers, I think it's important to provide that space for them to vent. Sometimes they'll be angry, they'll say things they don't wish to say because you don't provide that in an environment for dialogue. Where I feel like, hey mom, hiki tulifanya sikufurahia. Kuna mzazi wezi mwambia hivyo. Why?
I think actually
utaona vituko.
What you're saying is it's very important, because also it's important for your child to know that I might mess up in this thing called life, but at the end of the day, who I can run to for support is my parents.
Yes.
My parent is the one.
Just the one. No one else.
But they're the one who can support
me. Be the backbone.
Exactly. They are my backbone. Because I remember finding myself in very funny situations when I was trying to avoid, disclosing something to my folks. So I would find myself in very tricky situations and look for support elsewhere, and it was just a mess.
So once you provide an environment for your teenager, they're able to confide in you, especially with those tough situations. I'm pregnant, I found myself with maybe an STI, etc.
Yeah.
It's easier for them to share and for you to find a solution for them. But ukishamwambia wewe nikupata una mimba usikanyage kwa
children are always trying to prove themselves to their parents.
Yeah.
In as much as you might think they are being rebellious and all that, but sometimes it's just that they don't want to look like failures in your eyes.
No one wants to look like a failure to their parent.
So a lot of times they will mask that, feature, and do their best for you not to find out. One,
exactly.
Because you will explode on them. Two, because they don't want to look like they have failed, because they want to prove themselves. They want to prove, you know what, I am also an adult. Yes, I can also make decisions. And yet at the end of the day, even you as an adult, let's be honest, you do stupid things sometimes.
I will make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, we are all human, so let them understand that.
Let's say you're the other point is be a role model.
Yeah.
Now this is actually linked to this other one. Unaambia mtoto wako asikunywe pombe, you don't explain why. But wewe kwa fridge yako kumejaa nini? Johnny Walker and the likes. So you need to explain to this child that you can't drink alcohol at this point because of 1, 2, 3, 4. But once you become an adult, you can make that choice, whether you want to indulge or not. So always have a reason. Explain why. Otherwise, hapo
mzazi wangu
ananyima na yeye anajibamba hapa hivi. Ni nini? So always explain, so that they always see you as a role model. They're able to understand, my parent does this because of this, not just because yeye ndio kusema. Yeah, so I think that's really important.
And also note that kids can sense the energy in the house.
They do.
Please don't argue in front of your kids. Don't argue in front of your children. Sometimes your partner will want to strangle them. Lakini jishikilie tu kiasi, because this child wants to protect both of you. You're dear to them. And if you, for example, you talk to your children negatively about their father or about their mother, there are things that just, it messes them up, even long into the adulthood.
That's how they will learn to. That's how they will grow up viewing that person. It won't change. Once it's planted at a young age, it's really difficult to change. Yeah. It's really hard.
They end up being very resentful. And eventually when they figure out, if they ever, become aware enough to figure out that the manipulation ilikuwa inaendelea hapa, then it turns and it is you they will hate, because you tried to destroy a relationship between them and the other parent.
Remember, an environment of conflict and violence also actually contributes to how someone will be in future. We realize that people who are violent, not all of them, but some people actually learned it from their childhood. When a child is exposed to an environment of conflict, they'll either process it positively, grow up to hate it, or grow up to like it, and actually do it later in life. So you don't want to provide such an environment, and especially to teenagers.
Yeah, because that's their normal.
They'll grow up processing it as however they will.
Ni kawaida
mamangu alikuwa anapigwa, babangu alikuwa anapigwa,
babangu alikuwa anapigwa, so ni kawaida.
So ni kawaida, it's normal. So you'd rather not have that in your home. And then the last one, be trustworthy. And I think this is related to them sharing. If I'm sharing with you, alafu
oh my gosh,
nakuja kusikia familia nzima inajua,
tafadhali usiende kusema kama udaku. Let us build that trust.
But it shocks me as a parent. Why would you even share your kuna wazimu? Why would you share your child's secrets?
It makes sense. I also don't get it.
Kuna wazazi wako hivyo.
Yeah, because they're imagining ni mtoto.
But as a parent, hata nikikwambia usiambie daddy, respect that. Respect that. You can only encourage them. You and me and your father are partners, so it's important for you to share with your father.
Yes.
So yeye mwenyewe aende amwambie. Yeye mwenyewe aende aseme. But wewe ndio mguu bandua ndio umeenda sijui ni hivi. That child will never trust you.
Ndoko nasikia as a rumor.
Baba ameshamuita. Nini nasikia?
Thank you. I will never trust you and I'll never tell you anything again.
They'll never trust you again. It doesn't matter even if the other person was the parent. They'll never trust you again.
Yeah.
So it's really important. If you want them to share, provide a safe environment. Be trustworthy. Hakuna mtu wewe unapenda kushare kitu na mtu alafu isikie kwa kila mahali.
It's not nice.
No one likes
na pia mkikubaliana, if you have an agreement that you know what, if you do this, I'll do this. If I do this, I'll do this. Let your child know that you're reliable.
Yeah.
Let your child know that you're reliable, that I can trust on mom and dad to mean what they say and say what they mean.
True.
Isikwe, you just throw words in the air that are convenient for that time. Because later on, then it will not also instill that kind of value in
confidence,
me. And confidence in you as well as my parent.
So that's it. Thank you so much for listening to us. We hope in future to discuss this with a professional maybe, so that you can get it from a professional point of view. Keep it here, hapa.
Yes, and I would like to hear your stories. What was your adolescence?
If you don't mind,
what was your relationship with authority? Did you have those mood swings? What else?
Body
did you go
image
through?
issues.
Yeah.
Did you go through sex education? Ama ilipita tu kama upepo?
And what kind of sex education was it, and from whom?
Yes, because it doesn't mean just because it's coming from a parent, it's right.
Sababu pia wazazi saa zingine.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.